Hello and welcome to this edition of Denthead Gaming. As always, I am your host Dent, and in this episode I harass an Octane, get a really weird player who just, I don't even know how to describe him, and bring you the BFQ of the week. Enjoy the carnage. Alright viewer, let's go on an adventure, starting with this teammate right here, Tansky. One of the most interesting players I think I've ever played with. Just does some pretty baffling stuff, and I tried to analyze this video. I've watched it many times to try to figure out what he's doing, but I can't figure it out. Maybe leave a comment below if you know what was happening here. And he's the kind of character that'll just boop, like out the back, just gone without saying a word or pinging or anything. I don't even notice. I'm like, okay, well, he didn't ping my first ping, so maybe we'll go geyser. So I jump out thinking I got a teammate with me, see he's not there, and immediately I'm like, okay, where'd he go? Okay, so I'm trying to figure him out here. I'm like, all right, you know, he's going to a hot zone. He wants to just get his kills and be done. And I'm like, all right, man. And then I'm like, okay, well, he's landing outside the area here. So what's going on? What's going through this guy's mind? Whatever, I'll hit these bins. There's 3 of them. He can have the last one. I'll just loot the first 2. You know, whatever I get, I get. Unless I don't get a gun, then I'll loot the last one. Okay, cool. Got an R9. All right, let's go. So I ping that, hey, man, I got a shield for you. And then he's just hiding. Just hiding over here. So that's what he does for a little while. And then I'm like, dude, I'm just going to loot over here, man. Don't be scared. I need to get weapons and stuff. We can't just be... Yeah, we just can't be chilling like that. I don't know why you're doing that. So anyway, I'm like, okay, he's not AFK. He placed a gas trap and out in the middle everywhere. That's cool. I'm like, dude, there's a skull piercer over here. There's some weapons over here. Just please come over here. Like, that's what I'm thinking to myself. And then I see him moving, and I'm like, okay, he's moving. But there's people over here, and he doesn't have any armor. So maybe we need to find this dude some armor. And then he's just chilling in the middle of everything here. Just chilling. Like, what are you doing, dude? Like, what are you doing? Anyway, so he starts following me here. And I'm like, okay, well, at least he's looking in my direction. I don't know if he's actually moving, but he's actually looking around. So I opened up some bins thinking maybe I could get this guy some armor. Finally find some. I ping it. I'm like, all right, let's go, man. And then he just sort of just walks up to the bin and stares at it. I'm like, okay, man, dude, I pinged armor. What are you doing with your life right now? So I open this up and I'm like, I'm taking all the light ammo. I'm like, dude, come on, let's do something. Like, what you can't loot that box. What are you doing? And then he comes over here to this box and he stands there. I'm like, dude, would you please pick up this freaking armor right here? What are you doing? Why are you getting in the box? What are you doing? What is your fascination with the box? Like, I'm baffled right now. Dude, just leave a comment below, please, if you know this guy. He just death pops here. Just no reason. Just shoots off a P2020. And I'm like, I bet you someone heard that. And I'm just like watching him like, dude, what are you doing? Don't shoot me. I'm on your team. And then I know, I'm like, yep, people are coming. People are coming. So I open fire. You know, I'm like, this dude's an idiot. I'm going to just have to take the reins here. I see that this poor Loba here pushes. Like, and I'm like, I got an R9, sweetheart. Just, yeah, you're going down. And then she ports behind me here in a second, right there. And I'm like, oh, well, if you're going to leave your guy open like that, okay. I'm going to get the knock over here. Why not? So me and this crypto fight it out. My dude gets knocked, and then he gets knocked. And I'm like, all right, I need to reload. I need to pop this Phoenix. That's what I need to do. Anyway, I pop the Phoenix just to get him thinking I'm popping a Phoenix, and she goes around the long way. And I'm like, well, she went the long way, so maybe I could just pop my Phoenix anyway. Whatever. So I use my Phoenix kit. You know, it only takes, what, like 8.5 seconds, 9 seconds? I got that all day. I hear him curving around on my right side. And yeah, she doesn't even get a shot off that makes contact. Like, so I'm like, all right, man, this is try number 2. This is your second chance. I'm gonna get you up, and you're gonna stop being weird. Like, just stop being weird, dude. So I'm gonna run over here, and I'm gonna ping these boxes, and you're gonna loot them. Okay, that's what you're gonna do. I'm gonna get my shields up. There's one last thing. I'm gonna ping this box. You're gonna loot it. And then you're going to come over here and you're going to loot this box, okay? Stop being weird. So anyway, I see it's gold. I want to see what's in there. And I'm like, okay, DG threat. Well, this guy's not looting anyway, so I'm taking this stuff. Don't care. I ping it, hey man, there's guns in here. Stop using P2020. I hear something on my left. I'm like, I think there's someone over here. And then this confirms that there is. And I'm like, okay, I'm out. My dude's down. You know, it's 1v2. That's cool. I get sniped in the butt. I'm like, okay, yeah, we're going to heal up a little bit. I accidentally use a shield cell here instead of my shield bat. And I'm like, oops. So I pop a shield bat. I could see both of them off in the distance there. And I'm like, okay, there's one off in the distance. I'll make him move. And then I hear the other one running up on me. I'm like, the other guy's kind of close. Trying to thirst my guy. So I break his armor there, and then I tuck so I don't get sniped. And then I hear the other guy pushing in pretty hard. So I'm like, all right, dude, if you want to die that bad, then I'll let you die. That's fine. And I'm like, now it's a 1v1. Cool. I'm not going to let this guy do a shield swap. So I'm going to throw my arc star over here so he doesn't do a shield swap. And then sure enough, he runs right at me. And I run out of ammo there, which is kind of embarrassing. But I take him out with the R9. I'm like, okay, man, this right here is your last chance. This is all you get. This is... I'm like, I'm not even going to res you until I'm ready because you suck that bad. Like, I'm going to make sure I'm ready to go, and then you can do your thing. And I accidentally pick up a bunch of stuff here I don't need, but I'm just kind of like panic hitting the buttons like, oh my god, dude, please do something. So anyway, I run over here, and I lose where the res beacon is, no lie. And I'm like, well, oh, oops, yeah, over here, that's right. I was hiding from that Lobo over here. So I'm like, all right, man, last chance. Please, for the love of God, do something productive. Like, just do something productive. So I come over here, and I'm like, okay, let's try this again. All right, I'm just going to loot these boxes, and you're going to come over here and loot too. I'm just going to tag a bunch of stuff. I want you to pick it up. Now, notice the tone change here. This is why I think that there were multiple people playing here. Because the tone change here is completely... This guy knows the controls, and then immediately, watch him loot. Like, he's looting fast. Like, he's going through stuff. I'm like, okay, I've got a decent player now. Okay, I guess they were just letting someone else play. Cool. You know, just be my teammate. I'm kill leader. I'm having a good game. I don't really want to play with a new person. You know, there's only 14 squads left total. We got a big circle. Let's just woo-saw, and then we can do this. You know, let's just go. So I hear him running on my left side. I'm like, okay, he's taking the reins and he's going forward, cool. And then I'm like, wait, dude, there's someone ahead of you. Dude, there's people. And then he opens fire, and I can't climb this stupid rock, and he gets down. And I'm like, okay, I'm coming, bro, I'm coming. And then he just, boop, quits. And I'm like, I didn't even notice he quit there. I thought they thirsted. And then I realized, I put two and two together right there. And I'm just like, I just noped the heck out of there. I'm like, nah, I'm out. And then after this, I just sort of run around here and I hide behind this rock. I'm not gonna show that because it's already getting to be a pretty long video. We're already like 8 minutes into it. So yeah, I just tuck behind this rock up here, and yeah, I do that until I hear him shooting it out, and I'm gonna cut to where I actually push this team up here. Okay, so I get back up here to where they killed whatever his name was, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna loot your box because you were taking stuff and you're dumb, and then I'm gonna punch your box because that's how dumb you are, and then I'm gonna keep looting you. So anyway, after this I hear some gunfire. I just want to leave that little tidbit in there. It's like, I just wanted to show you guys my frustration. I walked up to this dude's coffin and punched it. Like, that's how frustrated I was with him. Anyway, I run over here, and I ended up harassing an Octane. And I'm actually going to put a counter up here. I'm going to put 1 on this counter just because I harass a lot of Octanes in this for some reason. Like, me and Octane don't get along for some reason. But I hear this, I hear some footsteps, and I'm like, oh, switch to single fire, and I start shooting at this dude, and it's an Octane. I start popping shots at him. I'm like, hey, get out of here. So he runs off, and I'm like, you know what? I don't even have time for you, so I'm just going to go to my next dude and call it a day. All right, so I looped around a squad that was fighting it out, and I know the ring's coming, so I just want to go ahead and harass Octane some more, because why not? So I throw some rounds his way and just miss, like, all of them, and I'm like, okay, maybe not. His teammates start sniping. I'm like, oh, there's 2 of them. I thought there was just 1. Well, oh, there he is. And I'm like, oh, he's got red. Oh, he's got a sniper too. Okay, okay, well, Bloodhound knows where I am. So, I'm out. Like, that's why I love Pathfinder. Like, he can just be out when he wants to be. It's like, I'm done. I'm out. I don't want to play this game anymore. But right there, the ring pulls away from me, and I'm like, maybe I can fool them and like hide up here on this rock, you know? I don't think they know where I'm at. Cool, they don't know where I'm at. and then Bloodhound, and I'm like, okay, well, they know where I'm at now, so I get up here, and I'm like, whoa, oh gosh, please, guys, ow, okay, I'm out. So, yep, I pull a Pathfinder and run away again. Yep, and then I almost get nailed right in the back with that Sentinel. And I'm like, I'm going to hide up here and pray they don't come and just kind of heal because I need to heal. So, yeah, they actually don't push here, which really surprised me because they did have a little bit of damage on me and they knew I was a solo. But, yeah, I ended up hiding up here for a little while and then looping around, and I'm going to cut to that. Okay, guys, right here is why I think if you're going to play solo, play as Pathfinder, because he can get the high ground and do it over a distance. Like, Horizon is good at getting the high ground, but only where you're at right there in that moment, whereas Pathfinder can do it over a distance, and that is huge. Especially, I mean, look at my position. Let's take a glance here at the mini-map. Look at my position. I'm at the highest possible point in this little circle, and what I do, I harass an Octane while I'm in my high ground, because harassing an Octane is fun, and that's what I like to do. But yeah, like I said, this video is probably gonna be a little bit longer because this final battle here was kind of strung out. Like, these 3 other squads just did not really feel like pushing each other, and this is a pretty small area we're in here. So we got a res happening down here, and I'm like, I don't know where that's happening, but I harass Octane a little bit more just for fun. And then right there it drops down to 2, and I'm like, should I drop down there because I can get back up here with my grapple? And then Bloodhound pings me, and I'm like, oh well, I got a teabag if I'm being pinged, you know. So let's just do that, just to antagonize him a little bit more. By the way, the squad that was shooting at me, I believe, was Bloodhound and Octane. So these guys, we've been trading blows the entire match. I believe this is the same squad that killed my teammate, actually, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I haven't reviewed the footage that much for that. I've only reviewed the footage to try to figure out what my teammate might have been thinking, doing the things that he was doing. So anyway, so right here I'm trying to find the other team. I'm like, okay, well, there's 3 of us. I'm a solo. Bloodhound pings me again. I'm like, dude, please stop. And then they just proceed to light me up. And I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and pop a heal because ow. And then I hear the Octane running around. And I'm like, I wonder what he's doing. So I kind of creep over to the edge again. I'm like, well, they don't quite know where I am. I think he's over here somewhere. I'm like, yeah, I hear him. And then Bloodhound pings me. I'm like, oh, they're going to light me up again. And then they don't. And I'm like, well, okay, I'm going to harass Octane some more because that's always fun. That's a fun game to play. I get my red armor, and I'm like, oh, I would have had him knocked there if I just had an extended mag. He's popping up trying to be like, dude, please stop killing me. Just please. And I'm like, all right, man, I'll leave you alone for now. Yeah, I'll leave you alone for now. So I get up here, and I'm like, okay, I don't know where this other squad is. I have no idea where they're at. This dude throws a jump pad out. I hear it. And that's what triggers me. I'm like, oh, jump pad, okay. So I harass Octane some more. And then he gets underneath me. And I'm like, okay, Bloodhound knows where I'm at. Okay, teammates know where I'm at. Right there, that little box where they can climb up, that's where I'm going to protect. I'm going to protect this until the end because I don't want them coming up with me. And I got little windows to shoot them. Sure, why not? And then I hear that sniper round go off, and I'm like, say what? And then this sniper round, I'm like, oh God, please stop. No, please, like, leave me alone. I'm out. Please don't hurt me. And then, yeah, he does hurt me. And I'm like, and I accidentally fall in. And I'm like panicking right now. I'm like, oh gosh, what do I do? Good thing that didn't ping me. Otherwise, they'd know I'm here. What am I going to do? So I'm like, you know what? I'm Pathfinder. Let's just go back up. And then I'll just chill here. No, I'll run around the back. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll run around the back. And I'm gonna just kind of hang out here and kind of peek, make sure no one gets on that box and climbs up on the roof with me. I'm gonna pop this heal. Because I gotta guard that box because I know there's 2 ways up, and that's the most popular one, climbing that box to get to the roof. So I'm like, well, I hear him running around underneath me. I wonder. I was like, oh, that sounds like Octane. Let's go see what he's up to. Where's he at? Oh, there he is. Look at him. I'm gonna shoot you, and you're gonna freak out and run away. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna reload. I harassed Octane again. That's fun. And then I hear him climbing. I'm like, what's he doing? Oh, he's back over here? Does he not know where I am? And then he comes back, and I'm like, dude, I'm going to kill you. Oh, you did an armor swap. You cheater. You cheater. Whatever, I'll harass you some more. It's fine. So I hear him healing, and I'm like, okay, 16 seconds left. My box, yeah, my box is safe. There's no one over here. Okay. So let's just kind of just creepity creep my way over here while they're fighting it out and the other squad, you know. I've got the high ground again. So I'm just gonna hang out and chill and see what happens. So they start hard fighting. I'm like, all right, cool. Don't fall in the hole. Don't want to do that. I'm like, where are they? I guess they're not gonna come up because they can't. That would kill them. Bloodhound knows where I'm at. He pings me. So I'm like, well, one of these squads knows where I'm at. It's probably the one that's been chasing me this whole time. So they finished them off here, and I'm trying to harass Octane some more. I'm like, dang, I can't get him. And then Bloodhound's like, nah, I know you're up there, bro. And I'm like, oh, well, I know you're down there, so die. And I'm like, I'm gonna pop me a heal. I ain't about to play this game where I just get dead. So yeah, I'm just gonna pop this heal and hope they make a mistake in the form of reviving. And then I hear it. Octane runs. He pops a revive. I'm like, oh, close range, yes. R9. Light him up, break him. He's got an R9 of his own, so we exchange fire. And I get a knock here. I'm like, it's done. Oh, hold on. One of y'all. Oh, it's not you. Okay, it's not you. I'll just kill you. And yeah, that was the match. I'm going to cut audio here so you can hear my genuine reaction.
Baby. Woo!
You are the Apex champions.
Oh, Tanskeen, you were probably the worst teammate I've ever had. Thanks for leaving. Whew, that was fun. Alright, big shout out to those of you who made it all the way to the end of this video. I know it's a bit longer than what I've been putting out, but if you enjoyed the carnage, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And as always, I look forward to seeing you all next Sunday out in the frontier.